Welcome back to Horace, episode 2, or part 2, or whatever. The first one was the test in the first episode. Get my hat.
It was the shoes the old man was going to give me. I thought I might as well put them on. They were just the right size. The old man's hat fit me pretty good as well. I'm sure he wouldn't mind if I wore it.
Oh.
Hat fit me pretty good as well. I'm sure he wouldn't mind if I wore it.
Weird. Chapter 3. Nothing is beautiful from every point of view.
Amazingly, the shoes allowed me to defy gravity.
What?
Or maybe it was the hat.
That is very unexpected. Yeah, that's normal. Speedrun strats.
Part of the basement was flooded, and the stairs had collapsed. I didn't know what was going on, but I knew I wanted to get back upstairs.
You think?
The gate was locked. I would need a key to open it. I had to be careful. The electricity was going haywire in some places.
Okay. This is very... I did not know this is gonna be a thing, obviously. Oh god, this is trippy. Oh. Ow. Jesus, the range on the zappy zap. Oh, whoa. What do I do here? Am I dumb? I don't know what I was thinking. I'm confuzzled. Oh. I'm a smart boy. Wow, I can jump.
How long had I been asleep? Months? Years? I was so confused. Where had everybody gone?
Oh, we're going outside.
I was slightly scared. This was the first time I had been outside on my own.
Oh.
I knew what I had to do. This had to be my purpose.
Secrets?
I would clean a million things, so I could become a real boy. Whatever that meant.
Trippy. And I just went in circles. $500 drunk combo. I only collected one when I got that. So, last time, if you didn't watch the first episode or just don't remember...
I still don't understand what happened next.
My trainer, aka my father or something, just keeled over.
Wait, what?
And then I got it in a real trip. What is happening? So much pixels. Circles. That's unheard of with pixels. Just destroy the computer. And then people started whacking at me. Robot. That's not very nice. What is going on? Oh, I forgot I can't go in water. I go up here. Oh. Oh, there we go.
The gate was locked. I would need a key to open it.
Good to know. Am I dumb? I'm just gonna move on. Oh, good. Fine, I might as well. I'll rescue the
coming
people.
From one of the bedrooms, but the stairs were blocked by a wall of fire.
Fire is dangerous. Okay. Ow.
The people screaming turned out to be a man, a woman, and their children.
Oh,
They were
good.
confused and terrified. At first the man looked like he was ready to fight me, but after I convinced them that I was there to help, he calmed down. There was no way I could carry them all at once, so the children went first.
Rescue the children.
I dropped the children off at the front door and promised them that I would be back with their parents.
Oh no, you promised. I gotta go fast. Ow. Ow. Oh. My controller's doing weird things. Oh, that's actually convenient. There's a wall.
The fire
hole
was
in the
getting much worse, so the woman went next.
Go, go, go. Ow. Go, go, go. Ah. I can barely see. Oh. Yeah, that works.
When we got to the front door, all the woman said was, "Thank you. Please hurry."
Yeah, okay. That, obviously. Oh god. Now what? This door? Go all through all the rooms. Not that room. Convenient.
By the time I managed to get back, the man was unconscious. I had to pick him up quickly, as I could tell the house was going to collapse at any moment.
Oops. Oh no. What? This is concerning. Oh, that was close. What? Did I do it? Or was that the fail screen? I did it! Sorry, had to do something. There we go.
I helped the family set up a tent so they had somewhere to stay. The kids were excited as they got to camp outside, but I think they knew they had just lost their home. When I mentioned my quest to clean a million things, the man said I should look through the rubble of the house, as they had no use for it. So, when everyone was making dinner, I looked through the wreckage. There wasn't anything I could clean, but to my astonishment, I found a TV set and a games console. With a bit of fiddling, I was able to get them to work. So I sat playing games with the kids until their parents said it was bedtime. As we talked, the man opened a bottle of wine. I asked what had happened. Why was everything so ruined? The man looked at the woman, then the woman sighed and said, "There was a war." "Yes, a war," said the man. "One side of the planet attacked the other, and before we knew, it was all over. Everything gone. Everything destroyed." "Well, it's late," said the woman. "We should really get some sleep. Help yourself to anything you need, and we'll see you tomorrow." In the morning, I asked the man if he knew what had caused the fire that had destroyed their house. The man smiled. "Crap old house, bad wiring, constant electrical surges from the unreliable power plant, take your pick." He said, if we had the money, we'd move to the mainland. But we can barely feed ourselves, let alone buy a new house, so for now we're left here with the rest of the scum. But he did say I should head to the mainland, as there would be plenty there for me to clean, and a better quality of rubbish. The man said, "Before the war, my lovely wife used to be a fisherman." "Fisherwoman? Fishing person?" "I used to catch fish," interrupted the woman, "and, seeing as you saved us all from the fiery end, maybe you would like to borrow my boat to get to the mainland." I was a little scared, but then they gave me some captain software and I was an old salty sea dog within minutes.
Oh. They know how to do that stuff apparently. Shipping time.
I took the fisherman's boat to the mainland. The fisherman was right. Everything was in pieces. Everything had been destroyed.
Damn, son.
I docked the boat in some ruins. They must have once been a town.
Oh, I keep forgetting about those boots. Ow. Okay. Collect all the garbage. Cool. What? Guess I can't go in there yet. Ow. Ah. Oh, I see what I'm supposed to do. Jump. Ah. Oh, it's still way over here. Well, I know what I'm doing now. As I screw up. Speed run.
I wasn't sure what to do with this machine. I wasn't sure what to do with this machine.
Okay.
The huge door was sealed shut. I wasn't sure how to get inside.
Yes, how? Huh. Oh, there's a door here.
I was confronted by a lovable fat old dog. He almost looked pleased to see me. Suddenly, three men appeared holding large guns. Or at least two men and what looked to be a pregnant woman. Incredibly, it was Mr. Silton. I thought you'd been shut down, he said. I mean, it's been years. I'm not really sure what happened, I replied. I then told him about me cleaning a million things. He laughed and said, nothing changes. He then showed me into what was surprisingly a really nice house. Please excuse my husband, said the pregnant lady. I'm Edwina, but everyone calls me Eddie. I believe you know this idiot. And that's Preston. We've met, said the small man. It was me that delivered that thing, remember? All you used to deliver was weed, mumbled Mr. Silton as he put the dog dish on the floor. And I was there that night, when this twat was off his face on mushrooms. Thanks for letting me and the dog stay, by the way. Yeah, well, we like the dog, said Mrs. Silton. And I suppose I've got you to thank for us meeting. What were you giving Barry those dodgy magic mushrooms? She pulled out an old photograph. It was one that Heather had taken the night I had saved Mr. Silton.
Sad face. Happy face. Sad. Happy.
It reminded me of everyone else, so
Commentary.
I asked what had happened to them. Mr. Silton said Alice had a small place in the countryside. The professor had holed up in one of the old man's factories. Mr. Deck was, believe it or not, now a presenter on the only state television channel. And Heather and her mother lived on a government compound where they both worked. I asked about the old man, surprised that Mr. Silton hadn't mentioned him. He's dead, said Mr. Silton. Sorry, I thought you knew. Anyway, said Mr. Preston, I thought you said that robot thing found the mushrooms for you, in that hoarder's manky old barn. Mr. Silton looked embarrassed. "Well," said Mrs. Silton, "I guess we've got you to thank for getting us together then." "Time for bed, I think," said Mr. Silton. "Make yourself comfy, and we'll see you in the morning."
It's interesting that this robot used to sleep and falls asleep. Whoa. What is this? It's really hard to keep up with it. Goodbye. Cool, I guess. Home is where the heart is. Chapter 4. Finding a way home.
The next day, I thought it might be a good time to ask about the war. Judging by the look on everyone's faces, it wasn't. "Well, the war," said Mr. Silton. "Barry," interrupted his wife, "can I see you for a minute?" and dragged Mr. Silton out of the room, leaving me with Mr. Preston. All of a sudden, Mr. Silton appeared. "How about a tune-up?" he said. Mrs. Silton started to make some food, and Mr. Preston was playing with the dog, leaving me to chat with Mr. Silton. I said that I really wanted to see everyone else, but Mr. Silton said that it wouldn't be that easy. Traveling now, especially for a robot, is complicated. Go back to the house, you could even do some cleaning. Wait there and I'll work out a way to get you to each of them. I told him that I couldn't get into the main house because the hallway ceiling had collapsed. "I have just the thing," said Mr. Silton, as he pulled some sort of card out of his pocket. "If you can get into the caves under the house, you can use this security pass to get into the old man's laboratories. You can get into the main house that way." I was so excited, I would be able to get back into my old room. I said thanks, and made my way to the front door. "Also, I think you might be able to help us out," said Mr. Silton, "but we'll meet up back at the old man's house in a couple of days. You head there and we'll see you soon."
Cleanup time. I don't know why I did that. I'm supposed to do this. Never mind. Forgot I can run and jump. Huh. Smart. That was weird. No, stop moving. Wow.
The door was locked, but from behind it Mr. Silton shouted, "Go back to the old man's house."
I'm smart. I thought I was supposed to go. Okay. Go! God dang it. And these doors act as checkpoints. Okay. Back home.
I took the fisherman's boat to the old man's estate.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. Home, home. That's how you get them. Wow. Oh god. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna walk on the ceiling for no reason. Okay, that works. Okay, that doesn't know. Woo! Okay. Thank you. Okay. There we go. Key.
The gate was locked.
Okay.
I would need a key to open it.
Ow. Oh, okay. I thought I missed some garbage. Wow, I'm back where I started. I don't think I was supposed to do that. I wasted so much time. There we go. Was I not supposed to go here? Oh, I'm supposed to continue cleaning. That makes sense.
I was surprised to see an old man, but not as surprised as he was. It turned out he was blind. He was kneeling on the floor with his hand in a drain. When I asked him what he was doing, he said his cat had crawled into the pipes, and he was trying to get her out. He was very happy when I offered to help. He said there was no way we could reach her from here, so if I was willing, I could make my way through the sewers and get her from the other end. He said he would turn off the water for as long as possible, but I would have to run, as the pipes would soon fill up again. I happily agreed. So he gave me a key. He said this will open all the sewer gates. Go through here, then down the ladder, and through the big door at the bottom.
Ah, wrong way already. Who needs ladders?
I better run.
Oh! Ladders are overrated. Okay. Not Outland. Okay, I spoke too soon. Oh, door. Okay. What? Oh, I'm stupid. No, I'm not. Oh, I'm just... okay. Stop! Oh, God. What? Patience, a virtue. Oh my god. Okay, I don't jump slow enough. What? Oh. Oh god. This sucks. Oh, I can. Oh, I'm a smart boy. Oh, I'm not a smart boy. This is hard. How do I get to the roof on the ceiling? Do I get that later? Oh, hello. I just want to get the stuff. There's a lot of mysterious garbage that I don't know how to get to. I don't even know. Oh, come on. Great sound effects, by the way. I think it expects you to go through multiple times to get all the garbage. Oh, I'm a genius though. Oh, I got the bike. You literally have to die to get that bike. Cool. Got him.
I found the old man's cat. She was fine, if a little confused. I was horrified. It looked like me, but it shambled around like something from the film we watched on Halloween.
Oh, I can die for myself. Yeah, that's normal.
The man was happy to have his cat back. He looked so content with her sat on his lap. I told him about the thing I saw, but he just laughed and said, "Those bastard robots, they're always getting up through the pipes. Don't worry though, it'll never get through the big doors. If I had my way, we'd have blown up the lot of them when we had the chance." I wasn't sure what he meant, but I decided now wouldn't be the best time to tell him I was a robot. The man laughed and said, "Don't worry, I know who you are," and told me that he knew the old man. As we chatted, the man brewed himself some tea. He said that he had worked for the old man. In fact, he had lost his sight in one of the old man's factories. Strangely, he smiled at this thought. "He always did me right," he said. "When I had my accident, the old man said he would look after me. And he did. He always made sure I had enough money, and he let me move into this old pumping station on his land. Which reminds me, I have something here for you." He rummaged around behind a cupboard. Then he continued saying, "The old man wanted you to have this when you were old enough, but fate wouldn't allow it." He passed me a large box.
That damn
It was
fate.
empty. I thought about pretending to be excited, but the man said, "Wait a minute, it's empty, isn't it?" He slumped back in his chair. "I was robbed a few months ago," he said, almost in a whisper. "It's strange, they took practically anything metal, but left loads of food and a brand new saxophone." The man looked sad, so I thought I would try to change the subject. I told him about my quest to clean a million things. This at least made him smile. He said I was welcome to go back through the pipes anytime I wanted, as there were loads of old things in there that could be cleaned away.
Nice. No garbage in the ceiling. Well, thankfully there's no rising water anymore. Oh. Oh, I lied. There's more. There's always rising lava. Gotta find them all. Wow. Oh. Almost died there. Oh, this part. How do I get that? Oh. You know what? I don't care. Never mind. I do care because I can't even go back. Okay. Get me out of here. I got everything. Short, dude. How do I get on the ceiling? Ugh. Strange. Oh. You. Okay. Is this just a loop? No. Wait. This one. Oh, I'm going back. No. 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 Okay, it's okay, it's okay. I can speed on this. Okay. I am done with this place. Phew. Oh, I was going this way. Is there anything else? That caused trash, apparently. Whoa. Home sweet home. Oh, okay. Hell yeah. Yeah. Oh. Oh God. There we go.
As I walked through the old church ruins, I was surprised to hear Mr. Silton calling me. He said he had forgotten to give me something, and the church's community hall would be the perfect place to try it out. As soon as we walked into the hall, Mr. Silton said he had a present for me. It was a pair of Atlas gloves.
Oh.
They made me think of the old blind man with the cat, and his stolen Atlas gloves. I wonder if Mr. Silton knew how lucky he was to still have them with a glove thief around. Mr. Silton asked me to try the gloves on, and start chucking things around. But not him. He was very clear about that. Mr. Silton suggested we clean the hall. Of course I knew when he said we, he meant me. But I was happy to try out my new gloves. He said I should clear everything off of the basketball court and put the things on the floor either side. I fiddled with the settings for a bit, but when Mr. Silton saw I was having trouble, he produced a small manual. He explained that pressing down and X would pick the thing up. X would then throw the thing, and if I wanted to place it on the floor, I should again press down and X.
I
He
knew
looked
X
more
was
and
gonna
more
do
confused
something.
as he read all this, but eventually he finished by saying, "Well, I hope that made more sense to you than it did to me."
Okay, depending on how heavy it is. Or depending on how long it'll take to pick up. There we go. Wait, I gotta do this. Hell yeah. How's that not an achievement? When you try to run while carrying something. Yeah, we've already been carrying, well, people. But now we can carry whatever we want. Perfect. I was hoping it wasn't gonna break, and it didn't. So that's good. God.
No.
Okay, I gotta be real careful. So I can start all over if I die. Oh, I had to carry these guys individually. Let me guess, they're fast. Okay. Are these guys fragile? I'm not gonna test that. Please don't. Ha! Catch him. I'm so scared. I don't want to start this over. No. Taking my time.
"Let's see
Okay,
what
I'm
else
done.
these gloves can do," said Mr. Silton as he flipped through the manual.
Why do I need
He
gloves to
actually
pick
looked
something
quite
up?
excited when he explained that holding X while walking into or under a falling thing would allow me to catch it. I
I
must
already knew that.
admit,
I
I was
figured
then
that
really
out.
happy when he suggested we make it a game, and I try to catch 10 basketballs.
Oh. Damn it. Can you tell I'm great at this? Got him. Got him. Got him. Didn't got him. Two more. At least I don't have to start over if I miss. I'm only holding one.
Next,
Got him.
Mr. Siltrant suggested we make it a real game and see how quickly I could score 10 baskets. I enjoyed this so much. It felt just like the good old days. Except Mr. Siltrant wasn't as forgiving as the old man.
Great sound effects. Easy. I got this on lockdown. Got him.
When I'd scored 10 baskets, Mr. Silton gave me what he called a high five. He said I now knew everything about the gloves and I should be able to continue through the basement of the church into the house. When I asked him if he was coming with me, he just laughed and said they would catch up with me in the main hall.
Nice. Okay, I can unlock this one. Ow. What's that door? Huh? Loading screen. Whoa. Oops. I didn't mean to go back in. Ow. Nice try. Nice try, clones. Hell yeah. Well, that got quiet. That's just water. Oh. Oh, okay then. We're back out. I don't know what the significance is of that place, but okay. That's death. Cool. You cheeky bastard. Hiding garbage behind the foregrounds. Yo, bastard. I don't know why I didn't get this earlier. Oh, there's bullet holes here. That's kinda interesting. Wait. Oh, there's electrical stuff. There's electrical stuff there now, apparently. Smoke.
I took the fisherman's boat to the mainland.
Yes. Yes, you did. Let's go this way. Absolutely nothing. Aww. Oh, wait. Yes. That's one way of dying. That is thumbnail material. This game's so polished. Oh my god. Whoa. And I've actually paused before. Holy crap, there's a lot of power-ups. Wow, that because they kind of spoiled their own thing when you pause. Cause I didn't even read the description of this game. I didn't even know there was power-ups and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna make it back to the other place, and I'm gonna leave it there. I've been recording well over an hour. Which I know probably for some of you is nothing. But shh. Space! Hell yeah!
I took the fisherman's boat to the old man's estate.
I'm gonna leave it here. This was Horace. This playthrough is probably gonna continue. We got the boots right off the bat and the gloves eventually. And now we can pick things up apparently. So, yeah. See ya. Episode 2 of Horace.